Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we have an episode kind of wholly encompassing this Vanity Fair video that they posted, as well
and the photo shoot.
And the photo shoot. So from the Vanity Fair cover photo, we see Rey, we see Finn, BB-8, Chewie, and Han Solo all together, sort of like on this cockpit. It looks kind of like it could be the Millennium Falcon.
It is the Millennium Falcon.
Okay, so I guess this kind of gives us a bit more into who the main characters of the movie are, because this is like the cover photo of Star Wars, you know, for this first sort of like photo shoot and everything. It's like these characters. So it kind
and that was the previous rumor was that like of the original cast, if any of them is like the star or co-star, it's Harrison Ford's character.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that like Finn and Rey are obviously the two new leads for the new trilogy, the next generation.
Yeah.
But Han Solo is in there prominently.
Yeah, and that seems like it kind of in line with the second teaser that we got, where we see all of these characters like often in the trailer and everything. We have Luke's voiceover, but we don't even see him yet. So maybe they're going to kind of keep him and Leia hidden a bit more than these characters, but it definitely seems like they're the main characters of the film.
You know, you don't hear or see Princess Leia. Like at least I think we see Luke where he's with R2 and there's like a fire going.
Well, at least he's got the voiceover too, right? Yeah.
One of the more interesting things that's really cool is you see you saw her in the teaser, but you get a good look at Gwendolyn Christie's character, who's now given a name, Captain Phasma. And it just looks really cool, the chrome armor. We heard earlier, like last year, that maybe there was like a squad of chrome troopers, but it looks like she's just like the one, and she's like the head leader of like this elite squad.
The one thing I really like about the armor too is that it's not really like sexed. Like, you know, sometimes there'll be like a female breastplate and it'll have like boobs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, she just looks like a regular stormtrooper. So that's one thing I want to point out that I really liked.
Actually, if you look at the original Stormtrooper costumes, they have like really exaggerated pecs.
Yeah.
Like, these ones are a lot more like sleeker and flatter,
including the snowtroopers.
Yeah, you get a look at the new snowtroopers, and it kind of looks like the Empire Strikes Back snowtroopers. Not quite as bulky and blocky, I guess.
But not CG.
Definitely not CG. They actually built. It's actually guys running through, maybe fake snow. But what's interesting is that I heard from a guy that was at Celebration, and he's worn, because at Celebration they had the new costumes and stuff like that, and he had worn both the old costume and the new one. He said the new one is so like form-fitting that it almost like is like cutting off your circulation. It feels like. So that's kind of cool, but it looks more like tactile body armor, whereas the older ones, like you see the armor kind of bouncing around with them. It looked like kind of plasticky.
Yeah.
And another cool thing is they show what's like, it's like a pirate's castle, and there's all these like animatronic aliens and people in costumes. Kind of reminds me of a little bit like Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
And we're like long ago we reported on the leaked concept art, and there was one location that was called Pirate's Cove, and it had all these weird alien smugglers and stuff sitting around. So I'm wondering now if maybe that's it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It looks like it could be.
Yeah. And another thing we see is a picture of Lupita Nyong'o, I think that's how you pronounce her name, doing mocap, and we had heard some rumors before about Andy Serkis having sort of two roles in the movie, and I mean that was later on discredited by him, saying he's only acting in one role.
And he's not a CG character, so she's playing a CG character. This is all motion capture for a digital character.
I think I had heard another rumor saying that maybe his second role on the film wasn't an actual acting role. Maybe he's been doing some like mocap directing and helping out with that aspect of the film, which it
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, he's the big mocap guy in Hollywood. So
he's the guy for motion capture. I mean, you can have a film with a pretty major motion capture CG character, and you have Andy Serkis also on the film. You'd think you'd want to like, hey, can you come to the studio for a day and like give her some coaching?
Yeah. So that seems to be another like rumor we can kind of pick out of this. And lastly, the really cool thing we have to see is Kylo Ren without his mask on, being played by
Adam Driver. Confirmation.
Yeah.
Like we kind of all knew that already, but this just official.
Yeah. So this is a photo shoot now. We're not really quite sure whether or not, because he's not wearing the mask, if his face actually has scarring, or if it's like necessary for another mask, or is he just doing it as sort of like
for
a style
photo shoot?
Yeah.
I have a feeling though, like if you never saw him unmasked, they wouldn't do a photo shoot with just like his regular face. I mean, I know there are photos, like behind the scenes photos of like David Prowse with the helmet off, and it's David Prowse, but they were not like Annie Leibovitz is like one of the most prominent photographers for this type of thing in the world, in history really, and they're for promotional purposes, not sort of behind the scenes, here's Adam Driver filming a scene. It's like they're posed and she's taking good photographs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Seems like you will see him without his helmet on, and that he will just be like Adam Driver.
Yeah, which is a pretty big thing to know now, I guess. But they released it pretty willingly, so I don't know. Maybe we'll find out later on. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot to go on that, but for now, I guess that's kind of all-encompassing stuff that we got from this Vanity Fair photo shoot.
We'll have another video exploring Kylo Ren and or his connection to Rey.
Yeah.
Look for that in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I think this has been a really big week for Star Wars news. Like every day or two. I mean, it was May the 4th, so I guess we should have seen it coming.
Yeah.
I didn't.
All right, so that's it for today, guys. Let us know in the comments your feedback about any of these photos, anything else that maybe you heard that we might have missed, and anything else about this sort of Vanity Fair photo shoot, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all next time.